What's up, guys? Skippy Africanus here, and we have a neat little video on a neat little pistol. This pistol right here is a Cz-52. And aside from the rather, weird look it's got going on and the fact that it's actually chambered for Cz-52 Tokarev and then also some other little weird things like a heel release, this gun also features a very weird mechanism because to my knowledge, this is the only handgun that actually operates the way it does. Now, there's plenty of rifles that will use a system that this gun uses, but when it comes to handguns, this is really the only one that actually uses that system. But before we go into the weird mechanism that this pistol in particular uses, let's go into the more common mechanism, as some viewers might not be aware of just how, well, the common handgun itself normally tends to work. Featuring a Zastava M88A. Now, do note that, as mentioned, this is the system that is used on pretty much all modern handguns, things like Glocks, Steyr M9s, M9 Berettas, all the likes of that nature. And the way these handguns tend to work is what's called a tilting barrel. Now, do note, I have cleared out all of these guns before I do this video because I'm going to need to put my hand in front of the barrel. So anyways, the way that this mechanism actually works is once the bullet is fired, that barrel actually travels a little ways with the slide, and you'll see it starts to tilt. What that is doing is it's allowing the whole system to stay sort of locked and allowing gas pressures to actually go to a safer level before that slide is allowed to move rearwards. This is common on pretty much all pistols 9mm and above. When you start getting to the more potent rounds like that, you tend to need to have a locking system in place. This isn't like, say, something like a 32 ACP pistol like this Cz-52 is, where the barrel actually doesn't go rearward at all, and in fact, that slide's just allowed to move freely rearwards. With calibers small like this, like 32 ACP, 380, you tend to really not need a locking system at all. There are, of course, exceptions to this rule, like for, say, the Astra 400, which is, well, they have them in 9x19, but this one in particular is 9mm Largo, but this one also operates with a direct blowback, where the barrel does not move back at all, and it solely relies on spring pressure as well as weight of the slide. And of course, the tilting barrel is not the only mechanism that, can do the whole locking, keeping the gas pressure safe and all that. There's plenty of other mechanisms, though the tilting barrel is the more common, but we have something like a PX4, which actually uses a rotating barrel, which, as you can see as I push the gun or the slide backwards or push the barrel, that barrel actually rotates. Again, it's not as common as the tilting barrel, but there's at least quite a few rotating barrels, and there really is only one of what this thing uses. So let's go into what this thing actually uses. So to start off, you'll notice that, yes, the barrel does go rearward. However, you don't see it tilting, obviously. You don't see it rotating. You don't see it doing anything. And taking this gun apart, we can see a rather unusual looking piece inside of it. I wonder what those two rollers are used for. And that is the first clue as to how this gun operates. Now, I had to take it pretty much apart because this is going to be hard to demonstrate with this whole barrel in the gun. But anyways, the way this system actually operates, which is called a roller lock system, is as the gun is sitting in its natural in-battery state, it looks sort of like this. And when it travels rearward with the slide, those two, or this part actually in particular, is getting pushed against a little piece. Those rollers are going to sink into that recess, after which now the entire gun the entire slide can actually move rearwards. I don't know why I moved the barrel when I did that, because the barrel has already moved fully rearwards, but yeah, as it does that, the entire slide is now free to move completely rearwards, come forward, and it'll push right up against that again, and lock into position. And what this piece is actually pushing against is this little metal thing right there. You can actually see the little scrapings of the rollers, but naturally, when it's sitting in the slide and all that, it's sitting kind of like this. So you can see when the gun fires, the barrel goes back just a little bit, those rollers sink in. It's actually probably better to look at it from this angle. Barrel goes back, the rollers sink in, and your slide is now allowed to unlock. It should be noted that before we go, I will point out these are the two recesses those rollers actually lock into when the slide is fully in battery. But anyways, I think that's about it for how the Cz-52 in pieces operates. It is definitely, to my knowledge, the only pistol that actually works this way. Of course, there is roller lock guns, but they are usually always in rifle platforms. Maybe there's some weird prototype pistol that exists, but to my knowledge, this is the only pistol that actually works like this. And at least it definitely is the only pistol that's been mass-produced that works like this. But anyways, I think that is going to do it for this short little video on how the Cz-52 operates. I hope y'all enjoy the video as much as I personally enjoyed making it, and I will see y'all next time.